This is so difficult. That's just a mean question. Hey guys, magandang umaga o magandang gabi depending on what time you're watching this video. My name is Monica and welcome to my channel. Okay, so the setting is a little bit different today. I've decided to switch it up for this video because this is going to be a different type of video. If you have been keeping up with my community tab or if you have watched my Eternals video and my Sing 2 video, you will know that I have been asking people to submit questions for me so that I can make a Q&A video. This video is really a celebration of my Encanto video doing so well. It is almost at 2 million views and has only been out for not even 3 weeks. Our baby channel is growing. We are now at over 30,000 subscribers, which is insane. I know it's still a small channel, but still it's actually a lot when you think about it. So I'm so grateful to all of you, and I just think that it's about time I make one of these videos so that I can answer all of your most commonly asked questions. But before we get into the rest of the video, I need to give a huge thank you to today's sponsor, BetterHelp. So as you may know, the last couple of years have not been easy. This pandemic has been kicking us in every direction. And I know I'm not going to be the first in admitting that it's been very difficult. Our whole lives have been affected by it. Our long-term plans, our relationships, and our potential work prospects as well. And honestly, on top of all of that, you've got normal life to deal with as well. I know I've been super stressed by it. When the pandemic first started, I was very anxious about leaving the house. Whenever I would leave the house, I would come back home and I would throw everything that I was wearing, including my shoes, into the wash because I was just so scared for my own health and also everyone around me. I didn't want to pass that along, loved ones or anything like that that I was living with or even seeing in the near future. And I'm definitely someone who benefits by talking to someone about it. And the therapists at BetterHelp are a really great place to start. BetterHelp will assess your needs and match you with your own licensed professional therapist, and you can start communicating within 48 hours. It is not a crisis line, it is not self-help, it is professional therapy that is done securely online. There is a broad range of expertise in BetterHelp's 20,000 plus therapist network, which may not be locally available in many areas. The service is available to clients all around the world, and you can log into your account and message your therapist at any time. BetterHelp is committed to facilitating great therapeutic matches, so they make it easy and free to change therapists if you need to. You'll get timely and thoughtful responses, plus you can schedule weekly video or phone sessions so you won't ever have to sit in an uncomfortable waiting room as with traditional therapy. It is way more affordable than traditional offline therapy, and they have financial aid available if you need it. Because BetterHelp wants you to start living a happier life today. And I'm such a big advocate for therapy. You don't really need to have anything wrong in your life to go to therapy. Sometimes it's just very helpful. I went to therapy during my teenage years because that's a rough time, let me tell you. And honestly, it has helped me so much. And now is a perfect time to join because they have a special offer where you guys are gonna get 10% off of your first month. And all you need to do to access that deal is go to betterhelp.com/Catapusan. I'll also have this link down in my description box, and join over 1 million people taking charge of their mental health today. So thank you again, BetterHelp, for sponsoring this video. And now let's get on to all the questions you guys have in store for me. Okay, so you guys have been submitting questions to me both on the community tab, and I have posted 2 of those ask me a question things on my Instagram, and there are quite a few questions here. Hey Monica, you're one of my favorite YouTube reaction channels. Thank you. I've been watching your stuff for about a year or so, and my question is, what is your life like outside of YouTube? What does an average day look like for you? You're gonna be really disappointed with my answer to this, and actually it links into another question that I got earlier today. So this one, would you ever consider doing a vlogging channel? I love your energy. Thank you so much. So this is gonna answer both of those questions at the same time because my life is not very interesting outside of what you guys see, to be honest. I know vlogging stuff can be quite popular, especially if, why did I say it like that? Honestly, I've never really considered doing vlogging stuff because I don't really do much. But I'll give you a quick rundown now. I have an office job. After I finish work on that day, I either film or I edit or I go to the gym. And on weekends, sometimes I go out and have a few drinks with my friends. Seriously, that is it. That is all I do. It is not a very interesting life that I live. I'm content with it. Like, I'm very happy with the balance that I've managed to get. Actually, it's been very difficult to get a balance ever since I started taking my YouTube channel more seriously. But I think the past like couple of months or so, I've been getting that balance. So yeah, I don't know. That's all I've got for you. Okay, this one. I was actually expecting quite a few people to ask this question because I do get that question on like all of my videos, at least like 5 or 6 times. So hello, I'm a new subscriber. Welcome to the channel. So I don't know a lot of things. Sorry if this sounds stupid. No question sounds stupid. Don't ever think that your questions are stupid. What do you say at the beginning of your videos and what language is it in? So I'm Filipino. I'm actually half. I'm half British and I'm half Filipino. And the main language in the Philippines is Tagalog. So that's the language that I'm speaking at the beginning of my videos. I'm saying magandang umaga, which means good morning, and magandang gabi, which means good evening. So I'm saying good morning or good evening. Like, it's really not like anything very interesting, but I really wanted to incorporate something from my home representing my heritage. Okay, so these are kind of similar. So how did you gain confidence for YouTube and why did you start a YouTube channel? Honestly, YouTube was just a fun thing for me to start doing a couple years ago. I never really took it seriously. Every time someone would ask me, oh, you've got a YouTube channel, and I would be like, don't worry, like it's just a hobby. Like I don't want it to be like a career or anything like that. Look at me now. It wasn't really until I got into making like movie content, and it didn't even start with my reaction stuff actually. My YouTube journey kind of started with makeup, yes, but I also filtered in a little bit of like book reviews. I've since taken them off because I look atrocious and the editing and the camera quality is horrendous, and so is the sound. Like, it's just very embarrassing. But I actually started with book reviews, like complaining about book to movie adaptations, and then I did a whole series, which is still on my channel actually, of like the worst finales like of all time type of thing. And I genuinely, you're not gonna believe me, but I didn't know that people did reaction stuff. Like, I didn't know that that was a thing until I watched actually Trin Lovell. She was the first reaction channel that I found, and then I found Dylan, and then I found Ashley, and I've been obsessed with Kenny's videos long before her Bad Movies in a Beat series, back when I was like really into like makeup and stuff. So I just thought, I'm really good at talking about movies. I talk about movies regardless anyway, so I think it would be interesting to make content on that. I feel like this is a very long answer to your question, but I think I answered it. It's not really the confidence for it. I don't really know, to be honest. I just enjoy it, to be honest. Like, this is what I enjoy doing, and I feel like if you enjoy something, the confidence just comes with it, you know? Okay, so this one. What are your top 5 movies in general, Marvel and Disney? That's a two-parter right there. You sneaked in 2 questions. And can we be besties? Because in my mind we are. Of course. Be friends. I want us to all be friends here. I want this community to like be, I don't know, friends. I want us to all be friends. I love making new friends. So we're all friends here. So Marvel. The top 5 movies of Marvel. We're counting only MCU, so I'm not going to include X-Men, I'm not going to include Fantastic Four, so we're just thinking MCU here. And I'm not well, the Spidey movies technically count now, don't they? I'm going to say straight away, Winter Soldier, Piece de Resistance, love that movie so much. I really like Civil War. I actually like Age of Ultron, and I know that's an unpopular opinion, but I really enjoy that movie. Is it because it's nothing like the comics? But I enjoyed the movie. I don't know a tremendous amount about the comics, so the movie for me, I loved it. 2 more. Ragnarok. Okay, I loved Ragnarok. I thought it was so funny. The first time I watched it, I was actually on a plane and I had to keep pausing it because I couldn't stop laughing. So that's definitely up there. So we got 4 now. Oh, and it has to be Infinity War. Infinity War is amazing. It was just what we needed to finish off Phase 4, and it was, fantastic. Disney. Do you know how old Disney is? How many movies that is? This is so difficult because I love Disney. Brother Bear. That's a Disney, right? Yeah. Brother Bear. Underrated classic. I love Brother Bear. I was going to say Lilo and Stitch, but it's not a favorite of mine. I do just love it. I'm not going to put Lilo and Stitch, but it's up there. Am I allowed to include Pixar's? Because I have actually made a ranking table of my Pixar so that I would know where I would rank everything. Can I say Pixar stuff? Because Incredibles is up there. Yes, so those 2 at the moment. So difficult. It's like, you know when someone asks you to like tell them about yourself and you've forgotten every single detail of your entire life? I've forgotten every Disney movie. You know what? I might have to say Cinderella, A Twist in Time. Is that gonna be in my top 5 Disney movies? It is phenomenal for a Disney sequel, which are usually not very good. It's funny, man. It's a funny movie. I'm gonna have to look up what Disney movies are out there in the world. This is not cheating because it's not telling me what my favorite is. I'm just gonna look at Disney and see if anything is there for me. Oh, Princess and the Frog, definitely up there. I love Princess and the Frog. I watched that movie over and over again. And at the risk of sounding pretty basic, oh, Hercules! Hercules is up there. Yes, I think I've said 5, but I kind of feel like I've forgotten really good ones. I want to say Encanto, but it's so recent. I don't want to be basic and say like the most recent movie that's come out, but it is so good and I have rewatched it. And I've listened to the soundtrack so many titimes. Pirates of the Caribbean are technically Disney movies, and they're up there, but we're not going to count those because I don't really... Okay, those are the 5, okay? I'm going to stop before I just continue. A Pixar movie that made you emotional. P.S. I subscribe to your channel. Thank you so much. Welcome to the channel. Pixar movies always make me emotional. The opening scene of Up, that always gets me. The ending scene of Coco, that always gets me. The ending scene of Encanto, that always gets me. Wait, that's not Pixar, is it? It's not a Pixar, sorry. Still, those first 2 are. Those are the 2 that I can think of right now. If I can think of something else later on, I'll also include it. But those are the 2 that jump out to me the most. I bawl my eyes out. Like, it's ugly. It's ugly tears.
Okay, how could I have forgotten Onward? Onward. The ending scene of Onward always gets me.
Would you ever react to anime movies or TV series? Now, I'm not going to definitively say yes or no, but also I do kind of have something up my sleeve that I am very close to working on, so keep your eyes peeled for that. Okay, this is not a question, but I just love comments like this. Like, if you just make me feel so happy. I found you through your Encanto video, and I'm so glad I did. I've been binging all your videos ever since. Congrats on the 1 million views. You really do deserve it. Thank you. Like, I just love the fact that you guys are actually enjoying my content. Like, I love making the content that I make. That's why I make it, and it's why I watch other people's content that does similar things to me, because it's what I would consume on YouTube, so it's what I'm gonna put out there. And it's just the fact that you guys are also enjoying it, it just feels so good. So thank you so much.
Okay, so apologies for the next question. I completely bungled your question. I'm so sorry. I don't know why I misread both parts of this question so badly, but you'll be happy to know I do end up answering both of these questions. The first one, someone else asked me later on, so I do answer it. And the second one, I will answer in a second.
What's your least favorite movie or show that you've reacted to on your channel so far? Now, that's an interesting question. And I might actually have to say Raya. I know that's gonna be shocking for some of you because it's supposed to be the movie that represents Southeast Asian cultures, which is where the Philippines is in Southeast Asia. However, I think that's why I don't like it. I think because they don't do it right, in my opinion. Southeast Asia is really big and there are multiple different cultures within that area of Asia. And it felt like this movie was trying to represent all of them in one go. And I know there were multiple tribes and they were trying to do each of the tribes or each of the cities with like a different culture in each of them. But to me, it ended up being a mix of everything that didn't actually end up representing any of our cultures. So it fell short for me, and I watched it with my mom after I did it for my channel actually, and she was really struggling to find where the Filipino representation was, and it was quite disappointing. So on reflection, I don't really like the movie. We love the girlfriends. Namari and Raya are definitely girlfriends. We support them. Don't think that the movie did a very good job of representing what it was supposed to represent. Who's your favorite Disney character that you most relate to?
Okay, so here's the second question that I completely bungled because both of the answers that I'm about to give, neither of them are Disney characters, and I don't know why I completely skipped out the Disney part of this question, but I'll answer it now because I don't actually say anything about this later on. I actually think Giselle from Enchanted I relate to the most because all she really wants to do is live her happy life. I'm completely content with just living a happy little life. It doesn't have to be something like extraordinary. I just want to be happy living my life. And I also think that being kind and just being nice is nice, man. Like, it's nice to be nice. So I think she's just a very kind of like a simple, relatable character, and when it comes down to it, she will like fight for those that she loves. So yeah, Giselle from Enchanted.
I think someone else actually asked a very similar question. What movies do you relate to? Ironically, it's actually a movie that I recently watched for my channel, which I didn't think that I would watch for starters, and also I definitely didn't expect to relate to the character as much, or any of the characters. That's Ron's Gone Wrong, and it's about how, if you haven't seen the movie, if you haven't seen my video, the whole premise of it is that people can be lonely, and even if you don't think that they may put on like a front, but everyone is kind of lonely in their own way. And especially because it was set in school with kids, I just remember being kind of a lonely kid. I didn't have that many friends when I was younger. Yeah, like that really hit me. It definitely got me, and I was not expecting it to make me that emotional as it did when I watched it. So also, I don't want to be cliche, but Hermione in Harry Potter, like, I really related to her. I was such a nerd at school, and it would be annoying at times for a lot of people. They would tell me to shut up because I would always like know the answer to certain things or whatever. But I guess those two relate to each other in a way. Oh my goodness. Okay, here's a long one. Congrats, Monica. Your videos are so fun and you have such a sweet and funny personality. Thank you. A few questions for your Q&A. Oh, a few questions. Okay. I'll try answer all of them if I can. I think this is gonna be rapid fire. So, do you have any pets? If so, what are their names? No, I don't. I have some in the Philippines, but I don't even remember. If you're from the Philippines, you're gonna have like so many dogs in the Philippines. So I don't remember all of their names, but our families do have a lot of dogs. Actually, special shout out to my cousin's dog called Chusi. He is adorable. Love you, Chusi. Love you, Christelle. Mwah. If you had to choose to only watch Marvel, Disney, Pixar, or Star Wars, which would you pick? Well, that's just very mean. That's just a mean question. They all fall under Disney, though. I want to cheat and say Disney, because they're all Disney. But I know your question. Okay, I'll tell you what I'm struggling between. I'm struggling between Marvel and Disney. Because Disney has such a variety of different things, and Marvel, although in recent year or so, they have been branching out and trying different styles, it is more or less kind of the same formula that they have been following the past couple of years. And sometimes I do need to be in the right mood to watch Marvel, but it's like, could I ever give it up? You know what I mean? Oh, this is so difficult. Okay, we're just gonna do this really quickly and say Disney. Actually, no, Marvel, Disney, Marvel, 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 Disney, Disney, Marvel, 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 Disney. Never ask me where we should eat because I'm so indecisive. I'm gonna say Disney because there's more options to pick from. Like at the moment, I only have like, it's like 22 or 20. How many movies are there in Marvel now? I could watch that in like a couple of days. Like if I really just wanted, if I wanted to just sit down and watch something, it wouldn't take me that long and I'd have to circle back around. There is a lot of options for Disney and that is the only reason I'm choosing it over them, but they are tied on like how much I want to watch them. Okay, move on quickly. This was supposed to be rapid fire. What are some of your hobbies? That's embarrassing because I don't think I have any. I used to say that YouTube was my hobby, but I take this more seriously now. Like it's more my second job. Is gym? Would gym count as a hobby? Gym. We're gonna go with gym.
Okay, so funny story. Since filming this video, I have really deeped the fact that I don't have a hobby outside of gym, and gym isn't really a hobby, it's more like a health and fitness thing, right? So I've been really interested in journaling, like scrapbook journaling and stuff. So I've recently started my own bullet journal. And if you follow me on my Instagram, I will be posting some updates on that every now and again. I'm actually very excited about this because I like to make something that's very pretty. I used to be quite artsy, but that's kind of fallen off. So this has kind of been a way to relax and also get back into that. So we're actually gonna go with bullet journaling as my hobby. Not gym. Scrap gym.
Favorite reaction you've done on your channel? Oh, I was so hoping someone would ask this question. I love my You series. My You series is my favorite one, and so is my Shadow and Bone stuff, actually. I think those are mwah, top-notch content, if I do say so myself. Tooting my own horn much, but I think those are my best work. Those two series that I've covered, yeah, funny. Highly recommend if you haven't checked those out yet. And finally, okay. What other videos can we look forward to in the next year? Love you so much and thank you. Okay, I don't like to give away too much of what I'm doing because it adds like an extra layer of pressure if I let you guys know, but you can be assured that I will be covering every new Marvel thing that's gonna come out this year. That should just be a given now, so don't worry about asking me if I'm gonna cover it because I absolutely will. Once it's on streaming platforms, I'm gonna be right on it. Don't you worry. And actually, I was gonna do this at the end of the video, but since this is part of the question, I have some really big plans for the next couple of weeks because there's nothing new that I want to cover that's coming out for a good couple of weeks. So I'm going to use this time to catch up on a few things that I didn't have time to do back when it was like popping off. So there's one series that I have had a lot of requests about actually, and I just never got around to it because I've been so busy. So I'm going to do that. That's a plan. And also, I'm going to finish a series that I started last year and just never completed. And I have had a few people be like, what happened to the rest of this series? Did she ever cover it? No, I didn't. And I still haven't even watched it in my spare time. So I'm gonna finish that off as well. And it should bring us back up to when something new is coming. And I'm excited about this new thing, but I don't want to give too much away. Because it just adds a layer of pressure. So you'll find out when I release it to my community tab or when I just upload it. But don't worry, there will be a lot of content this year. I am super excited about what this year has in store. When are you coming to the Philippines? Girl, soon, I hope. This pandemic is ruining everything. I want to come back so bad. I miss my family there. I miss everything. I miss just the country and the culture. I want to go back so badly, but I can't say a date because I literally don't know. And I also don't feel very safe flying still. The pandemic still scares me, so I just can't risk it, but I do want to come back very soon. Who would you say is your favorite actor of all time, female and or male? You know who comes to mind immediately? David Tennant. I love him. And everything that he's in, I'm just captivated. And I don't really care what it is. I will just watch him, and I love him. I adore him so much. And you know what? Recently, I've recently watched the Little Women, the 2019 version with Florence Pugh in it. Her. Absolutely her. She is great in that as well. So I fell in love with Yelena, the character. I didn't know much about Florence Pugh, and I still don't, but I recently watched Little Women and I fell in love with her character there as well. So, and I haven't watched Midsommar, and I don't think I will. I do not do horror movies or any type of a psychological thriller that has like gore and stuff in it, but I actually watched Kenny's video on it, and that's like enough for me. I knew everything there, but from what I've heard, she did an amazing job in that as well. And judging by what the story's about and who her character is, she apparently acted in Midsommar and Little Women in the same year. Completely different characters. Mwah, an actress. Actually, honorable mention, I don't know her name, but the actress who plays like every single character in Orphan Black, I think she does such a great job in that as well. And I think she's She-Hulk. I think she might be. So that's exciting. Someone who I've just, I forgot that completely. But yes, her. I think she's great. And I was worried that she kind of fell off after that show ended because I hadn't seen her since. But she's coming to the MCU. So get it, girl. How old am I? I'm 23. I'm 23. Do you have any weird or hidden talents? I don't think I have any weird talents. I don't know if this is hidden at all, but I'm a little bit musical. I taught myself how to play guitar a couple of years ago. I used to take piano lessons, and I do sing a little bit. I actually used to make covers. Would you say that that's like my YouTube origins? Except I didn't post any of that on YouTube. I posted them all on my Facebook, so it was literally like 50 people who would see, and like only 2 of them care. They were like my mom and my friends. So I used to do that. I don't know if that's hidden or anything. I need to get back into it, actually. That's just reminded me that I have a beautiful guitar upstairs. I have 2 guitars, actually. This is not the question, but I really do want to show my appreciation to my friend who got me this guitar. One of my friends, her family's like really musical and stuff, and I believe she gave me one of the old guitars from her house, but she customized it because back then I was a huge Taylor Swift fan, and I think it's what actually inspired me to learn guitar. And she covered the whole guitar with pictures of Taylor Swift, and that might sound awful, but to like 13-year-old me, that was the best and most thoughtful gift ever. And they had like laminated it, so it was like kind of like waterproof and wouldn't like peel off or anything. So thoughtful, and I loved it. I loved it so much. I have a new guitar since. Shout outs to my Supernatural fans. I called the guitar because it was a black guitar. I called it Baby. Who gets the reference to the Chevy Impala? That was also the time where I was obsessed with Supernatural. My teenage years were just full of obsessions. Has that changed at all? No. Oh, okay, I found the question that asked what movie I relate to the most. But they also asked in the same question, favorite romantic movie tropes. And I do want to answer this one. I think we'll just answer this one and maybe one more and then we'll wrap it up. I love the enemies to lovers trope. I'm sorry, I'm a sucker for it. I absolutely love it. My introduction to this storyline is Anastasia and also Sinbad. Underrated classic. No one talks about Sinbad. They're always talking about like Road to El Dorado, and people do appreciate Anastasia more now. but no one talks about Sinbad, and that was one of my favorite movies growing up. Both of them have enemies to lovers tropes, and I have been obsessed. And the book that I wrote, maybe that's a hidden talent. I've written a book. I'm not gonna publish it probably. I wrote it when I was in sixth form. So when I was like 16, 17, 18. I wrote a book. It has 30 chapters. It's about like mythological creatures and stuff. But I added enemies to lovers tropes in there. And obviously I had to because it's my favorite trope. Do you speak Spanish? No, I do not. I do not speak Spanish. However, Tagalog, the language that we speak in the Philippines, is very similar to Spanish actually. A lot of our words are similar. So if I heard a Spanish conversation, I could potentially pick up like maybe 1 or 2 or 3 words in the sentence. And that's because Philippines was colonized by the Spanish, so our languages are very similar. And once your language is similar to a Latin-based language, all of the Latin-based languages are also very similar. I want to learn Spanish. I think it's a beautiful language. And actually, while we're on the subject, because the language is so similar, also our culture is very similar to Latin culture, which is why I feel such connection to Hispanic movies. Like Coco and like Encanto, actually, that's why I felt more connection to those 2 movies. And Moana, actually, it was kind of like a mix between like island life island life, because in the Philippines there are over 7,000 islands that make up the country, and also the cultural upbringing and representation that comes with like Latin based movies. And I felt more representation in those movies than I did with Raya, which is why I have such a problem with Raya now that I reflect back on it. Okay, I think this is going to be our last question. If you could have superpowers for a week, which superpowers would you have? I love this question. I feel like this is like a conversation starter, like an icebreaker question, to be honest, because I always have my answer ready. Teleportation. I think that would be so convenient. I'm always stuck between teleportation and telekinesis, actually, because telekinesis, oh, what a power. If you have telekinesis, you are so powerful. I mean, look at Jean Grey. I mean, I know she's got Phoenix in her too, but still, she can do a lot of these things. It's kind of an OP power, to be honest. And I would like it, but then I'm thinking, why would I need it in everyday life unless I was going to be in type of like mortal peril on a daily basis? Whereas practicality wise, teleportation, if I wanted to go back to the Philippines, I could just do it. Easy peasy. I would just go back. Top movie guilty pleasures. I wouldn't say I feel guilty about anything that I watch. People used to say like Mamma Mia is a guilty pleasure. I love Mamma Mia. I'm not ashamed of admitting that. I don't know if I have any guilty pleasures. Guilty pleasures are things that you're ashamed of admitting. I'm not ashamed of admitting anything that I like. Boss Baby, I don't know. I enjoy that movie. It is kind of embarrassing that I like that movie that much. I used to rewatch it so many times when it first came on Netflix. Maybe that would count. I'm gonna say Boss Baby, the first one. Let's actually finish on this question. So I just want to get around to everyone. I still won't be able to at this point, but I just want to get as many people as I can. We'll end with this one because then I think it links back into why it matters to me that you guys enjoy the content that I make, because it's actually not as easy as it looks to make content. That's gonna sound really weird, but let's just read the question. I think you should tell us about some of the struggles you face with your channel, as I feel not everyone understands or doesn't consider it. Copyright. Can I just start with copyright? And I think the perfect example is my most recent video, Sing 2. That video has been copyrighted twice and taken down twice. I've never had it this bad before. This is why I've like kind of avoided musical based movies, because songs will get you the worst, okay? You don't know which part of the song or which part of a movie that they're not gonna want you to put on there. So really, it's like a meticulous process. And it's why I can't get videos out very, very quickly, because of the way that I do it. And also it takes a long time for me to edit because of the way that I edit my videos. I really want my videos to look good. I want them to not be unique, but have my own flavor, my own style incorporated into how I edit my videos. So on average, I'm just gonna be real with you guys. It takes me an hour to edit 3 minutes of footage. Can we take a second to just... It's a long time for me to edit. I want to be proud of the videos that I make, and in the past year I've been getting better and better editing, which means that it takes longer and longer to edit, but it also means that I am enjoying my own content, like on rewatch value. So that's kind of a struggle too. I'm trying to organize my time around it as well, because as I said at the start, I do have a job, so I need to schedule in my life around it. But again, as I did say, that I'm learning to do that a lot better now in the past couple of weeks. Wow, I got through quite a lot of those questions. I'm sorry if I didn't get around to your question. I have a feeling that this video is already extremely long. Let me know what you guys think of my longer videos, because I know, especially my Marvel videos, those videos are very long, but I have a lot to talk about when it comes to Marvel. And also, if I watch it the second time around, I'm gonna have theories and stuff that I've been thinking about since watching it the first time. So yeah, thank you guys so much for submitting all your questions, for watching my videos, just supporting me all this time. Honestly, you guys are the reason I've been able to make it this far, and I appreciate you all so much. Thank you again for the almost 2 million views on my Encanto video. Thank you so much for supporting and subscribing. Okay, but for realsies now, guys, this is the end of the video. Thank you, BetterHelp, for sponsoring this video. Remember, guys, you can go to the link in my description box at betterhelp.com/Catapusan to get 10% off of your first month. And if you wanted to hear more from me, my socials are also linked down below. That is my Instagram, my Twitter, and my TikTok. They are all at Monica Catapusan, the same as my YouTube name. And thank you guys for watching if you stayed until this point, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys!